Today's message is titled Embracing United, Part 2. We did this a couple weeks ago, and as we continue to engage this month's theme of embracing possibilities, we want to give every person here an opportunity to go deeper in their relationship with United. And one way we're going to do that is have the leaders of our many fellowship groups share a little bit about what they do and how you can get involved. So inside your order of service, you're going to find a sheet of paper with a list of each group that will be speaking this morning. And after listening to each group, we're challenging you again to check at least one box, one group that just interests you. And to be clear again, this isn't a commitment. You're not signing on a dotted line. You're not joining a team, anything like that. You're simply expressing interest in learning more about that group. And then once we've collected them all, a leader from each group will reach out to you in the days ahead. So without further ado, we're going to kick things off first with Threads United with Marsha.
Good morning. It's great to be here. I'm going to start with a quote from Little Buddha, which is an online positive thinking group. But I chose it because it really expresses the feeling in our group. And you'll see. Yes, I have to find it. I am a really big believer that one of the most, allergy time. One of the most important things you can be in life is an includer. A person who is willing to make room for any friend or for any stranger. To jump right in. Exclusive huddles are out. Inclusivity is in. The more, the merrier. Now, I think I do have some slide here. Shortly after our church moved to this building, we started a group to make quilts of comfort for local organizations. Typically, they were kind of aimed at children, which we have a soft heart for. But it became very clear how meaningful just being together and sharing this journey and one of our friends who used to be in the group has Carol Pauley named our group very aptly Threads United, because we have woven our lives together in this group. But there's always room. Quilters, you can always add threads and more color and have more fun. And the really important thing to know is that you don't have to sew. You just have to, you may be interested in visual arts, you may be just interested in camaraderie in a very relaxed situation. We meet at 1:00 in the afternoon, but there's not, okay, if you're not here at 1, everybody looks at you funny. And we go to typically around 3:00, but sometimes it goes longer. It just depends on what we're doing. We always need somebody to say, gee, I really like the way that leaf looks there. Or, that color, maybe it would be a better color here. Or just stand and watch and tell us a happy story, So I really want to stress that. Currently, we are doing quilts, as you can see, for St. Joseph's Hospital in Milwaukee. And we found, as we went along, we wait till we get about maybe 30 quilts. And when we have all of these, all of a sudden we realize, oh my gosh, these are so beautiful. We really wanted to share them with everybody. And so before we donate, we typically have a quilt show, which is just laying the quilts on, on the chairs. And then during one of the shows, someone said to me, can we buy one? Oh, okay. And because we had plenty. And so that has now become a way of funding threads. We can buy the batting for the in between our quilts. And also we have raised money, a good amount of money for the reparations fund. So that's really exciting. Just one more thing I wanted to mention. We're going to start again on May 6th. My husband and I both have had some health issues, and so I haven't been able to do it, but I'm really excited. I found a group called Quilt for Survivors, and that is based in Ontario, roughly north of Toronto. These are survivors of the Indian schools. And I asked whether they would accept donations from non-natives, and she said absolutely. So we're going to start doing that. And the reason for it is back a few years, there was a group called the Anti-Racism Change Team, and it's now part, oh gee, I broke it. That was good. What did I do? So we developed, it was anti-racism, not only black people, but we are aware of our Native heritage. And so the statement we came up with was, this building stands on tribal land occupied for centuries by indigenous people, most recently the Potawatomi. We acknowledge that indigenous peoples were here long before us and are among us now, and will be here long into the future. As a community, we are committed to deepening our understanding, fostering relationships with other peoples and the earth, repairing harm, and striving for justice. And so we are now going to be making some quilts for survivors. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcia. Next, I believe, is Jim's going to talk about the Journey Group.
Well, the Journey Group meets once a month in the church here on a Saturday morning for an hour and a half. We listen without judgment and without commenting. And doing so, we create a hallowed circle where the essence of our religion, which is the centering love, can enrich and inform our lives. So we're very open and inclusive, and we tend to have a different group each month, and everyone is welcome to join us.
Thank you, Jim. I'll just comment on that one a little bit as well, because I've attended in the past, and especially if you maybe come out of we'll say Christian background. Sometimes in those small groups, study groups, it can feel a little judgmental, or you might say something and then someone will jump on top of what you said and feel like they're reacting or, just responding. Just want to echo what Jim was saying. It's a really, really great, unique, safe space where people are bringing whatever they want into that circle, into that group, and people are just listening. So in case that's something that piques your interest, check that box. Next is Patty with Buddhist Study Group and Dances of Universal Peace.
I'm glad that Marcia did a little bit of a history, because I planned a little bit of a history also, not quite knowing what you all knew. So the Buddhist Study Group was first offered while our congregation was being led by Reverend Marcia Mowbray. When we were renting, we had decided the church in Mukwonago didn't suit our vision for ourselves. And we had hoped, while renting, to build a more modern church on land we had acquired in Mukwonago. Now, one of the things some people know about Buddhism is impermanence and a willingness to give up your intended outcome. So, we didn't build on that land. Here we are. Okay. Then and now, this group is open both to our members and also as an outreach program. that's provided for those in the community who may not attend our services at other times of the week. We began with reading and discussing Jack Kornfield's A Path with Heart, and while at times we have used, we've used brief articles for our study text, generally we embark on a journey from cover to cover through a whole book, and all involved, not all involved, but some have had continuous input into which book we check next. Sometimes we get very close to saying, can we read two at once? Because, we've read Dalai Lama, we've read Thich Nhat Hanh, Ezra Bida. I'm not going to list those. I decided not to list those. Okay. Many well-known authors have been among our choices. Some members of our group have stayed involved through a series of our varied texts. I'm also trying really hard to keep my hand away from this because Marcia did it already. Okay. Amongst the different authors, the different writings, we found many different descriptions shared of a mindful centering practice, and still that all Buddhist approaches, mindsets, come from one main root. Suffering doesn't have to define any life or any one moment lived. No experience with meditation or having read before the meeting is required or expected, so the group adapts whenever someone new decides to find out if it fits or feels authentic to them. The philosophy that grounds Buddhist outlooks on life may be one you already know resonates with you, or you might learn that it does just by hanging with these folks. This group was meeting at one time at one of the Mukwonago care facilities for elderly residents when the pandemic rudely tested our understanding of equanimity and impermanence. And we moved to the care facility because we had someone there, followed by another someone there, followed by another someone there who couldn't get to our then rented church. So we successfully transitioned a few months into the pandemic into an online format. We held together about as well as before. We eventually moved cautiously into public library space, and we finally again moved back into the church building. There are typically 2 meetings of 90 minutes per month, and a virtual option is offered for those who are comfortable at home rather than coming into the building. We also hold an occasional, more informal meeting at times that a month includes a 5th Wednesday, because we meet on the 1st and the 3rd Wednesdays. So on the 5th Wednesday, we'll gather for coffee or lunch or even dinner, and we'll include an outdoor walking meditation if cooperative weather happens. You know, sometimes the 5th Wednesday is the 5th Wednesday in January. Okay. April, though, is such a month. There is a 5th Wednesday. And we are planning an outing at Café de Arts, just a few blocks from here, and then we'll be walking along the Riverwalk next Wednesday. New faces would enhance that event or any other meeting, and we're doing that at 1. And I have a segue because I also lead this other group. And I play musical instruments during it, not very difficult musical instruments, because I'm not very schooled at musical instruments. But there were some words you said about possibilities. You can try it and find out. You say it again. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh. All right. Thank you. That went with a ding, but okay. I can try, I can learn, and I might surprise myself. I'll give him back his spot. Okay. The Dances of Universal Peace found a handful of our members during the last several years that we owned our original building in Mukwonago. And I say they found us because we weren't looking, but we were definitely hooked immediately. I personally had my first experience with the dances at UU West during a women's spirit gathering in 1998. I'm old. Okay. The dances have been in existence, though, for more than 50 years, steadily spreading all around the world. By early in this century, we were meeting monthly in the sanctuary, the old sanctuary, using a modified dolly to shift our old pews, like that one, so that we'd have enough space to dance. Now, some of you have seen that I shift the chairs, which is much simpler, leave the pew where it is. Okay. Each dance is taught so that everyone can join in the prayerful or poetic words, learn the tune, and then follow the simple movements. Trust me, they're simple. Okay. The mind and the body both being involved takes spiritual practice up a notch, just a notch. And there's no kneeling, which is the only other body prayer I used to know all about doing. The fit with UU theology is a close one. Within our hymnals, there are numerous hymns that are also in the ever-growing library of the dances. Some of those include, "Come, come, whoever you are." "From you I receive, to you I give." Your mind's going, I know those. "This little light of mine," yes, nod. Okay. "For the beauty of the earth." "Return again," which goes, return to the home of your soul. Okay. "Be ye lamps unto yourselves," which is based on the last words of the Buddha. "The earth is our mother," and "Vine and Fig." Vine and Fig's a real active, fun dance. There are additional hymns in languages other than English, also from our hymnal, that are included in the range of dances, which bring many different cultures and wisdom streams from all over the globe, such as Unitarian Universalist tries to unite our universal thoughts on the Golden Rule. So at times, Hebrew or Arabic or Latin or some other language may be the basis for short phrases underlaying a dance. We don't have Alex, and yet we've had hymns that we've had, Zigadunka and okay, we can do it. All right. So there are also several readings from our UU sources that are set to music and movements, and I'm going to end with one of those that is much like number 682. Those of you who have a hymnal can sneak to number 682. Okay. But first, I want to let you know that each month we have offerings of dances that are chosen aligned to our Soul Matters themes. And we include parts of the small group packets that tie the two activities to one another. So next month, if your curiosity is awakened by these next few moments, then come and dance with us on May the 21st. So, here are the words. They're tough. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty all around me. Thank you, Marcia's quilts. Above, below, within me. Okay, those words are sung to this tune. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty all around me. Above, below, within me. You don't have to learn all the rest of the verses because you only sing that chorus. Okay? Try it. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty all around me. Above, below, within me. So the people learn that. You, the people. And then movements are added. This one you can do where you are with no need of involving your feet or even rising if you're able. Okay? So, now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty all around me, above, below, within me. Now I walk in beauty. Beauty is before me. Beauty all around me, above, below, within me.
Thank you, Patty. The next couple, I'm going to speak on behalf of a few that couldn't be here this morning. First is Not Just Ladies Night Out. Please raise your hand if you know what that's referencing. There we go. We have a lot of Christian background in here, don't we? But in case you don't, it's for all adults. It's kind of a play on words. And if I were to name this, I'd say United Eats. We'll say it. That's the group. It's not too difficult to explain. We get together essentially once a month. We go out and rotate between a variety of restaurants. We eat, we drink, and we are merry. That's pretty much it. You can find information. We put this in the weekly newsletters, also on the church calendar, on our website, but no agenda. Just come, enjoy the fellowship, and really good food. Paula Palmianco is the contact for that one, but again, check that box if you want to learn more. Next is Chalice Circles. This is something that Reverend Jim leads, and the best way I would describe this group is if Journey Group is like the Diet Coke version, I would say Chalice Circles is like the full-fledged Coca-Cola version. If that sounds weird to you, essentially this one's a little more intentional with your time, a little more intentional with what you might prepare before meeting. Is there anyone in the room that is in the Chalice Circle currently? There's a few of you, right? And there's just one, I believe, that's going on currently. Does that sound right? Two. There is two. Thank you. So essentially, there are these small covenantal groups where you are being intentional with your time, not only to kind of do some work on your own, but to bring that work into the circle. And again, it's a covenantal circle. That's the best way I would explain it for you. And this is something that you should check the box, and Reverend Jim will reach out to you, whether that's joining an existing Chalice Circle or starting a new one. But essentially, just think of it as a more intentioned, little more work that's put into it version of the Journey Group. Next is one I can speak a little more knowledgeably on because I lead this one. It's the Agnostic Study Group, and that might sound a little weird to you, but I'll describe it this way. We're all agnostic about something. Would you guys agree? Yeah, we just are, whether that's spiritually or anything else. And the idea is that we get together a couple times a month, and we have a light snack, some drinks, and we just go through a book, whether that's a philosophy, a worldview, a religious tradition. We read a chapter every couple weeks, and then we just have facilitated discussion. We're not trying to teach one another. I'm certainly not trying to teach anything. I'm just kind of facilitating discussion, and it's a lot of fun to really see where conversations go, especially when you're a little more intentional about these big questions that we might have about life or subjects that we've never really broached before. So, for example, the first book we went through was just an introduction to agnosticism itself. Right? It's a good place to start, especially since it's called Agnostic Study Group. The one we're going through currently is on humanism, right? So it just gives you a little taste about how this could be about anything and everything the group wants it to be. So if that's something that sounds interesting, may pique your interest, check the box for the Agnostic Study Group. Next, we will have Sandy, who will discuss our circle suppers.
All right. Hello, everybody. Circle suppers are a get-to-know occasion, or for many of you, it's a just fun night out because you already know the people. We gather normally 3 times a year. This year we've only done it twice because COVID set us back a lot. For a lot of years we just didn't mingle again, but we started it again, and this year we've just had 2. We had what we call the winter, and now we're having a spring. There were enough to have 3 groups. We usually have about 8 people in a group. For next year, and there will be a call in the fall, probably in September, if you'd like to be in a circle supper, and we do a fall, a winter, and a spring. Typically, we have 8 people at somebody's house. We ask for volunteers. We would not assign you to host one. We ask for volunteers who are willing to host. The procedure is typically that the person who hosts the house provides the beverages and the snacks. And the people who are coming, somebody brings the main course, somebody brings a salad or a vegetable or something, and somebody brings a dessert. So it really forces the person who's doing it what I'm doing. It makes me clean my house good, but I don't have to do a lot of cooking. So in that sense, it makes it really nice. For new people, it's especially wonderful because it's a small group of about 8 people, and you get a chance to meet the other people who go here regularly, and for us to get a chance to meet you on a more individual basis. And if it's people who've all been here for a while or you all know each other, then it's just good conversation. Or I'll tell you, if you get assigned with Chet and Sally, you will certainly play cards or games or something, because they always do that, and some of the rest of us do it too. But it's just a social event. It's just to get to know people. It's just to have fun. And typically what happens now, I got a note a few days ago for the spring one. I'm not hosting it. I hosted a winter one. And you get a note, and the note listed 4 dates to the 6 of us who are going there. It said, here are 4 dates we can host. Which of these dates do not work for you? And so they will now take our information and find a common date, hopefully. Every once in a while takes a second round, but usually you find it. They'll find a common date for the 6 of us who are coming, and once that's set, then they will ask who wants to bring what. And then the date is set. The person who's having it will set the time, and you just come and have fun. So I hope come September when I put out my announcement, all of you will sign up. That will be a job, a challenge, but it would be a wonderful challenge. So take care.